Alright. I'll check how you did in the homework in the tutorial class on Thursday. Okay. I don't think the homework was too difficult, it's more just painful. Yeah.
Need a little diet.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any major problems. So we'll just go to the next topic. Yeah, page 26. Okay. So we'll have a look at now one linear and one quadratic. Are you ready, guys? Yeah. Okay, so previously in math class, you have seen how to solve two linear equations and to find this point. What we're going to have a look at today is how we can solve one quadratic and one linear. So, a little bit different, we could have actually two answers, although it is still possible to have one answer, but now it's also possible to have no answers. This is quite different to the linear. When we're doing linear, they always have an answer except when the lines are parallel. Okay. So with the linear we had elimination, substitution and so on. Whereas with the one linear and one quadratic, there's only one way to do it, and that's with substitution. Okay, so we'll do some examples. So here's the first one. Y equals x minus 1 and y equals x squared minus 4x minus 1. So what's nice here is that this is already in y and this is already in y. So we could use any one. I'm going to use this one here and put the value for y in here. So instead of y, I get x minus 1 equals x squared minus 4x minus 1. So, taking everything to the right, I get x squared minus 4x minus 1 minus x plus 1 equals 0. So I get x squared minus 5x, they'll cancel, equals 0. Factorizing is the best way to go here. You have x and x minus 5. So you can see that you have two values for x. X equals 0 or x equals 5. Now that's not quite finished because we need to get the y's now. I'll take these answers and put them back into this one. Y is x minus 1. So here y is x minus 1. And here y is x minus 1. So the answers are here 0, minus 1, and 5, 4. Now what I also want you to do for this question is to draw a very rough sketch. Very rough. And let me show you what I mean. So, very roughly, this here is 0, minus 1, so that's about like here, or whatever. And this one here is 5, 4, so whatever, there. Now, I can easily draw the line, because I know that the line must pass through these points. So the line is definitely this. The quadratic must also pass through these points. You can see that the quadratic shape is a U shape, because of the positive here. So the quadratic will be something like this. So there is that point there, And then this point here is this one. So a rough sketch, it looks like this. Okay, so write this one down. We'll do another one now, another example now, and then maybe a nice graph too. Okay, do you have this? Yeah. Okay, let's do this one here. For example, y equals 3x minus 11 and y equals 3x squared minus 3x minus 8. Okay, so again this is already as the y, so we can sub it in. And I'll get 3x minus 11 equals 3x squared minus 3x minus 8. And that goes in there for the y. So I'll get 3x squared minus 6x plus 3 equals 0. Taking this and this to the right. Now everything can be divided by 3. So what are the factors here? It's x minus 1 and x minus 1. So in fact there's only x equals 1. I can take this value back in here and I'll get y must equal 3 minus 11 is minus 8. Yeah? So the point here is 1 minus 8. Now the graph is more difficult to draw roughly because you only have 1 point, but we'll do it anyways. 1 minus 8 would be like here, for example. I can at least know if my line is going up or going down. Which is it? My line. Is it going up or is it going down? It's going up. So at least I know that the line will look something like this. And here is the point 1 minus 8. Now the quadratic only touches here once. So when you draw it, just make sure that it just about touches here just once. So this is roughly what the graph looks like. Have you got this? Yeah, I'll go back to it in a second, but I want to draw it. So y equals 3x minus 11, and the other one is y equals 3x squared minus 3x plus 8. Oh my goodness, that's so not right. Okay, there's another problem. This one's okay? Is this it? Oh, that's also bad. Right. This one here, this one there. Alright, let's fix this up a bit. Okay, so that's what I drew. So the red line goes up, blue line's there, and here's the point, what is it, 1 minus 8. Okay, so we got, when I ask you to draw, I do mean just a rough drawing like this, so you can have the picture of it, okay? Alright, write this one down, and then we'll do one that's more difficult. So really these aren't too difficult. They're just like quadratic equations. That's all. Okay, can I scroll down? Yeah. Okay. For these questions, the graph is not necessary, so you don't need the graph for these ones. 2x minus 11y plus 54 equals 0, and 4x squared plus xy minus 5y squared equals 0. So the reason the graph is not necessary is because this graph here is not on the course. I wonder if anybody actually has seen the shape of this type of graph before. Now it's not quite quadratic the way we have quadratic because there's an x squared and the y squared in it. And also there's an xy in it. So it's not quite quadratic. Does anyone know its shape? I'll draw it at the end and surprise you. Okay. Right, so what's making this one more difficult? Why is this not as easy as the last example?
Because you have x multiplied by y.
X multiplied by y makes it more difficult, and what else?
You have the non y.
You don't have the
You
y
don't have the y.
ready for you, do you? So one of these you have to rearrange. Which do you think is easier to get the y from? The linear, definitely. So let's rearrange the first one. So you have 11y equals 2x plus 54. So y equals 2 over 11x plus 54 over 11. So I just rearrange that. Yes? So far okay? Alright, so now another part which is difficult is you have to replace the y here and the y here by this. So this needs to be replaced and this needs to be replaced here and here. Okay, so let's do that. 4x squared plus xy minus 5y squared equals 0. Okay. If I wanted to get rid of the 11 in the denominator, I should multiply everything by what? No, not 11. What should I multiply everything by if I want to cancel those 11s?
Root
Nope. Closer though. Nope.
square
Nope.
square of it.
Which is what?
1 to 1.
1 to 1, yeah. So, in fact, if you wanted to cancel that 11, you would have to multiply everything by 1 to 1. The reason is, when you square this, you'll get 1 to 1. So, if you want to multiply all of these brackets by 1 to 1, you can. You don't need to, but this is the number you would need to use. I won't just yet. 4x squared plus 2 over 11x squared plus 54 over 11x minus 5 bracket 4 over 1 to 1 x squared plus 216 over 1 to 1 x plus 1 to 1 here, and that's 250 plus 20, 270.
2916, not 216.
Huh?
2916.
Okay, is 270 right there? Or not two? Yeah, 216. Yeah. Don't freak me out like that. And is the last one this? No. Yeah. No, it's not. 54 squared, not 54 times 5. 2916, huh? Yeah, okay. Equals 0. Okay, now I will multiply everything by 1 to 1 to make it easier. Okay? So 1 to 1 multiplied by 4 is 4a4, isn't it? And then 2 over 11 multiplied by 1 to 1 is 22. Here, x squared. 54 over 11 multiplied by 212 is 594. Now when I multiply by 212 here, they all cancel. But I still need to multiply them by 5. So I get minus 20x squared plus 1000 and minus 1060 80 x. I'm not even going to try. 2916 times 5 14,508. Yeah, equals 0. Okay. Wait, hang on. Minus, which one's wrong?
594.
X. Thank you. Alright, so here, how many x squared? This one and this one. That's 4.
You have that
No.
over there.
Oh, I have 3 of them. Thank you. 5, 4, 6. No. There's minus. Alright. You're making teachers sad now. 486. 486 x squared, and then 594 minus 1080 minus 486x minus 14580. Now when I made these questions, I made them on purpose to have a simple answer. So do you think we can divide by a number here?
486.
I wouldn't be surprised. 4580 divided by 486 goes exactly 30 times.
Yes.
So there are two values here, a 6 and a 5, like this.
Yes.
So you get x equals 6 or x equals minus 5. Now, that's not finished. We have to go back up here to get the y. Y equals, remember that y equals 2 over 11x plus 54 over 11. So I need to use this now to get the y part. So let's do that one. 2 divided by 11 times 6 plus 54 over 11, and you get 6. 2 over 11 times minus 5 plus 54 over 11, and you get 4. So the answer is 6, 6, or they also meet at minus 5, 4.
Is it a line cross a circle?
Maybe something like that. I'll show you now in a second. Do you have a graphing calculator?
No.
No? Oh, good guess so.
It's like an equation of circle. You have two.
It's not quite a circle, but it's a circular shape. Yeah. Nearly a circle. Okay, can I graph this to show you what it looks like? So, here, 2x minus 11y plus 54 equals 0. So you know what this graph looks like. We need to zoom out a bit because of the scale. And now the second graph here is 4x squared plus xy minus 5y squared equals 0. It looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Now it looks like it's a cross. Well, it's not quite a cross because if you look here, there's some stuff happening in the middle. But anyways, it meets twice. Let's zoom in. What? Say what? So this, like I said, it's not on the course because, as you can see, it is a very weird-looking graph. Yeah. And these graphs have names, and these are on the further maths course, but not on the maths course. Okay. So yeah, it's not quite a circle.
Circle has to be like I remember it.
The circle has an x.
Variable of x and y must be the same. Like
Yes.
this,
that you must have, if you was a circle shape, it must be, let me show you, that it has to be a 4 here and a
Yes.
4 here, yeah. Also there's other requirements as well, because here, for a circle,
It's one.
it should be a number like 1 or 2, it has to be a radius, yeah. Anyways, that's not even important right now. But as you can see, it's a weird looking graph. Now you might think, is it a straight line? Well,
Is it?
is it? Yeah, good question. Is it? So in a moment, we'll just have a look at this equation a little bit more. I just need you to write this down, okay? Um, in the exam, basically there are two types here. In the exam, they usually prefer the first type because sometimes they like to ask for the graph as well. They can't really do that with the second type. Although this could be on the exam, 90% chance it'll be more like the first type. Okay? Which is good news because I think you agree that this one is easier and quicker to do than the second type. Yeah?
Is the second type two linear multiplied by each other?
Could be. Maybe. Maybe not. But maybe. We'll have a look at it now. You think it's two linears multiplied?
Yeah.
I think you might be right. We'll have to check. Can I continue? Yeah. So what I'm going to look at is I want to look at this in a bit more detail because this has an interesting shape to it. So we have please, no talking when I'm talking.
Linear equation.
4x squared plus xy minus 5y squared. No, please guys, no talk when I'm talking now. I've been patient. Okay. So let's see what we can do with this. Alright. So what we're going to do is, we could try to factorize it maybe. Maybe that's possible. So let's see if we can factorize it. The only difference is it's not a number, it's a y. So let's see if we can factorize it. Maybe we can factorize it. Maybe not. Alright, if I try to factorize it, what would I need here at the front?
5y.
Well, it needs to be, could be 2x and a 2x, or maybe a 5x and a 1x. I don't know which. What would I need at the back?
5y.
Well, it definitely would have to be a 5y and a y. Now, I'm thinking it might have actually been a 4x. 4x and x. When I multiply them, I get 4x squared. If I have a 5y and a y, when I'm with a minus here and here, if I multiply 5y and minus y, I get minus 5y squared. Now what do I get in the middle? 5xy minus 4xy, which is xy. So yeah, it is two linears multiplied by each other. So if we want this to equal 0, we need either 4x plus 5y to equal 0, or x minus y equals 0. That means y should equal 0, or y should equal minus 4/5 x. So maybe my graph looks like two lines because it actually is this line and this line. The only way I can check is if I make these graphs and they should be on top of my original graph. So let's have a look. So what I'll do is I'll do y equals x, and it should appear on top of the blue. Satisfying, right? And then the other one, y equals minus, what did I say? 4 over 5. So again, it should appear on the other one going down. It does.
Yeah.
So if we zoom in, you can see it does exactly match. Okay. So in fact, this shape is a weird kind of cross shape of two different lines. Yeah. It's not on the exam, this graph. It's a little too difficult for the exam, but I still think it was worth seeing that. You should feel slightly smarter now. +1 to your smart points, okay? Alright. Write that down if you want. I'll give you the questions you can try. You should definitely get them finished before the end of class, so there shouldn't be any homework from this. Okay. Let me see which one. Okay, pen. Let me just take the ones out. So in question 1, can you do um, G and H? I don't think I did those. And then in question 2, F and G. You got those? So there's 4 questions. I think there's enough time. 5 minutes a question. You should get them finished now, and then there's no homework from this. You probably have the other homework done. Alright, so